AITA for asking my parents for their entire estate if they want me to be my sister's guardian. I, F23, have been told my entire life that if anything happens to my parents I will be my sister's guardian. She is 33 and has some disabilities. She is currently living in a group home. The government pays for a good portion of the cost but not all. My parents have made sure that they have accessed every resource available for her to make sure she has as good a life as she can. We were visiting her this last weekend when they brought it up again. They are both reasonably healthy, but they both had health scares in the last couple of years. They once again said that I would be her guardian. I have been giving this a fair bit of thought. I have two older brothers. They are both married and established in their careers. They would be better choices than I am. I want to go see the world. I am lucky enough that my job can be done from anywhere that I can access the internet. When we went sort dinner I brought it up and said that I had 3 ideas. 1. They make all 3 of us her guardians so we could split the responsibilities and duties. 2. They leave their entire estate to my sister in a trust that will oversee her care. 3. They leave me their entire estate with the proviso that I become her sole guardian and take full responsibility. Minus sentimental stuff for the rest of my family obviously. I thought that was fair since it's not like they are rich and their estate will mostly consist of their house and the insurance policies they took out when they realized the long-term costs of care. For my sister, they said that I'm trying to shirk my responsibility to my sister and that I'm greedy for trying to get everything. I had one last suggestion and they really hated it. I said that they were welcome to cut me completely out of their will. But that had to include guardianship of my sister. They could leave everything to her and my brothers, but that meant I would be completely free of responsibility for her care. My dad got really angry and my mom was crying when I left. My brothers both called me to say I was being an asshole springing this on my parents. And that I was being greedy trying to keep them and their families from getting anything when our parents pass away. I asked both of them if they wanted 100% responsibility for our sister in return for the entire estate. I volunteered to sign away everything to them. Neither one took me up on the offer. You had 3 different suggestions. If they only focus on the last one, it's a them problem. Clearly, your parents and brothers want you to take all responsibility without asking for anything extra in return. If I were to guess why they're assuming you'll just put up with this, it's because you're a woman. Good for you, that you're standing up for yourself. And point out that there are multiple options for your sister's care. NTA. Your last few sentences say it all. They wouldn't do it even if they got the estate. Don't let them guilt you into doing more than any of them are willing to. Live your life. NTA. If your brothers think it's unfair for you to receive everything, they should be jumping at the opportunity to get everything. That's the sign of a really good deal. If someone would take it from you, your parents are kind of Oz for dumping all of this on a young woman. Not that you couldn't handle it, just that it's not fair when there are other family members that could help. You sound pretty grounded though, and willing to advocate for yourself. I hope you have a great life. Good luck with this situation. NTA. Your parents have no right to just dump such a big responsibility on you with nothing in return. Your terms were very reasonable. Taking care of a disabled person usually means your whole life revolves around that person. It will suck. And there's no reason why it should suck for you in particular and not for either of your brothers. Fight for your interests. Don't get talked into sacrifice. NTA. So your brothers want 1/3 of the estate but you do all the care. Because you're the female. PFF'd. Stand your ground. NTA. Your sister is not your responsibility, and it's unfair of your parents to expect that of you. Even if you are noted in the will as her guardian, you aren't legally obliged to and can refuse. NTA. You are being treated very unfairly. Why is it assumed that they can tell you what to do with your life, but not your brothers? Unbelievable. NTA. Love how your brothers are mad because you're calling out this sexist BS. So your parents want you to put your entire life on hold to care for your sister with no actual benefit? Why would you do that? I mean, yes, it's not your sister's fault, but it's also not your fault. Split 3 ways is fair. NTA for being forthcoming about what your sister and your parents' assets mean to you. You, or whoever looks after her, should be compensated for spending the rest of their life looking after your sister. The fairest one would just be to put it in a trust. Your sister gets looked after, and then hopefully you make the time to visit her a couple of times a year. NTA. And I don't believe you can be compelled to accept guardianship of your sister. By the way, your parents are in fairyland, thinking they can pass this enormous responsibility to you, the youngest sibling with the fewest resources, just because you're the girl. If none of the siblings want to accept guardianship, I think your parents should will a substantial portion of their assets in a trust overseen by a financial guardian to provide for your sister. And everyone agrees who will have power of attorney for major decisions, medical care, etc. Whatever is left can be divided between the rest of you. NTA. All your ideas were fully reasonable, and there is no reason for you to sacrifice your life for your sister. Your brothers are the greedy Oz here, because when you showed your willingness to give them all the inheritance coupled with the care, they declined. They would want the money but not the responsibility. Shame on them. Wow, so weird. I am in a similar spot with my twin brother. Parents and older brother. They want everything split equally, with me taking on my brother full time. And I'm starting to realize the time and money commitment this will be. So I agree with everyone else. NTA. Stand your ground. And do it before it's too late. NTA. The ages suggest that the entire reason they had another child was to take care of your sister. Sorry to sound so blunt. The fact that you're a girl is just another reason, but they told you this all your life in hopes you'd accept it. Stand your ground and be firm on this. Your choices are all logical and fair. This is a huge responsibility for anyone to take on, and it's not unreasonable that any finances available are used to support your sister and her guardian, whether that be you or somebody else. To be clear as well, you are not trying to shirk your responsibility, because you do not have at this time a responsibility to your sister. Your parents have a responsibility to her, but you do not. You are negotiating what it would take for you to assume that responsibility. I think it's worth also informing your family what you will do in the event they try to force your hand by, as an example, splitting their estate 4 ways but stating you are to be her guardian. Look into options. I would presume that they cannot legally make you her guardian without her consent, so you need to be clear that if they stipulate it in their will as a preference, you will not comply and will not do it, and that leaves her more vulnerable because there is no a plan in place. NTA. You came up with very reasonable options, and they are trying to put this on you and using emotional blackmail to make you feel responsible. Why are your brothers not considered equally to take on this responsibility? Maybe there is some sexism to this too, where the woman takes care of the disabled sister. Do not let them put this on you. NTA. Your ideas seem perfectly reasonable to me. NTA. Your parents and brothers are hoping to take advantage of you and your generosity. Please live your life to the fullest and travel as much as possible. Don't let your AW family shrink your world. NTA. My husband was in a similar situation when his mother was diagnosed with a terminal illness. My Bill is mentally disabled and though highly functional with his own job, will require help for the rest of his life. Phil and Mill are divorced and my husband has another sister. My Phil proposed that we move into his house, take care of my Bill, and pay him $1,500 a month in rent. My Mill wanted us to move into her house after she's gone and take care of Bill, but still wanted to split the ownership of the house 3 ways. The house is supposedly rent-free, but we would have to take over maintenance costs, property taxes etc., which would be close to what we'd pay to rent an apartment in the area. Their reasoning is we didn't have kids yet and sister does, so we'd be more suited to take over Bill's care. To be fair, neither pushed us to accept. But WTF? To this day I don't understand why they think we would accept the responsibility of taking care of their son for possibly forever with no additional benefit whatsoever. Nor why we'd be okay with letting my Sil off the hook completely. Phil even wanted to earn money off us. I wouldn't even do a split 3 ways anymore. You know your brothers will not do their part after taking their portion of the will. It's either all or nothing. Or let the government take care of her. NTA. Up. You gave 3 great suggestions. It seems the rest of the family overlooked your first 2 suggestions and fixated on the last one. They suck. Not you. I feel bad for you and your sister. NTA. And honestly, just remove yourself. Don't even give them a choice at this point.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.